Hello and welcome into Anchorage Bucs baseball alongside my partner Will Hopkins, Vic Masley here at Mulcahy Stadium for Game 2 between the Anchorage Glacier Pilots and the hometown Anchorage Bucs in the first round of the 2024 ABL playoff. And in case you missed yesterday, the Bucs took Game 1 in a narrow 1-0 victory. We saw really good pitching on both sides, started by Garby Rummery for the Bucs and Tyler Stewart for the Glacier Pilots. That led it off to Andrew Rudd, Chad Gurney. We saw Drew Welk come out, Max Zawistowski, and everyone was very sharp on both sides. And the Bucs able to get that sacrifice bunt RBI from Max Ross, scoring Ryan Callahan early in the first three frames, and that was just enough to win that ball game yesterday. But today, the Bucs have been so good against the Glacier Pilots. 5-1 the Bucs are when trying to win three straight games. This team, in a great way, is very streaky when it comes to wins. 37 runs in the last six games. That's good enough for a little bit over 6 runs per game, and that includes yesterday's 1-0 victory. So you take that out, that's 36 runs in 5 games. So that's plus 7 runs per game. So this Bucks team yesterday, not what they're used to seeing, just one run on a lethargic offensive day. But what are you looking for today to get the bats going, to give early run support for Zan Rose on the hill, and for the Bucks to enjoy a day off tomorrow heading into the championship?
First of all, I think that's very important to get that day off. As great as early run support would be, I don't know that you can count on it. The Glacier Pilots are throwing one of their best arms in Peyton Allen. The Bucks have a great arm of their own in Zan Rose. So I think the key to this game is going to be who can get into the bullpen first. So for the Bucks, as great as it would be to score early, it's also going to be about driving up that pitch count, making him throw stressful pitches. Not all pitches are the same, so just getting guys on, things like that. And I think the damage could really come later in the game.
Yeah, last time these two faced each other, Peyton Allen and Zan Rose, was July 24th, 11 days ago. And that game, like you said, or like you kind of mentioned, was a pitcher's duel. And when you said need to get to the bullpen, well, that was the case for the Bucks July 24th. They did not have any success against Peyton Allen, and well, the Pilots didn't have any success against Zan Rose. So it was until the Bucks got deep into the bullpen of the Pilots, not even that deep, that they were able to overcome that scoreless drought and then put up some runs and eventually win that game on July 24th. But today, hoping to get runs early and keep adding on. But like you said, it might be tough with these two guys on the hill. The Bucks the Pilots, 6 1-run losses and 4 1-run wins. So a quarter of their games this year, 10 out of 40, have been the 1-run game. And the Bucks not really used to that as much as the Pilots. They're used to winning games pretty big. But the Bucks losses are by 1 runs a lot of times. They did lose one game to the Pilots by that 1 run in a 3-2 loss. So for the Bucks, how important is it to know that yes, you're 2-1 against the Pilots in 1-run games, but other games, 6 wins by winning with 3+ runs. How much more important is it to win by just one more run?
Well, I think a lot of times when teams get up big, they kind of take their foot off the gas, and because the Bucks are used to winning big and have done it so many times, they know that that's not how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You do it by keeping the pedal to the metal. And today in the playoffs, that is especially the case. Looking to have that day off tomorrow, there's no reason to let up, especially against the Pilots, the big rival of these Bucks. And if this bee flying around here earlier before we came on is anything to say, good luck for the Bucks. A little black and yellow going on.
Oh, 100%. It's got to be good luck. And like I said, 6 wins against the Pilots when winning by 3+ runs. So this Bucks team knows how to score against the Pilots pitching staff, but they have struggled against Peyton Allen. They struggled against guys like Tyler Stewart as well. But the Bucks did have one good game against Tyler Stewart, and I think that they might have one good game in them against Peyton Allen, and they need it in today's game. So we'll talk more about Peyton Allen. We'll get into Zan Rose, the starting pitcher for the Bucks, the lineups, and more. Game 2 of round 1 of the 2024 playoffs coming up when we come back. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium. Just about 11 minutes away from first pitch. Might be a little bit after 2 o'clock Alaska time. A little bit of earlier game than we're used to. And we came on the broadcast yesterday and said that the Bucs would be the visiting team in Game 2, despite still hosting all three potential games. But that is not the case. The Bucs will be the home team for every game, and if, of course, they win today's game, they will not even have to worry about a Game 3. So the Bucs home today like they were yesterday. So we'll bat in the bottom half of each inning and obviously have a chance to walk it off, but we don't want to have to worry about, even though two really good pitchers on the hill might be another low scoring game. But like Will said earlier, it is really tough to hold this Bucks offense to just one run and to do it for two straight games. And on the hill for the Pilots, trying to do the same thing that Tyler Stewart did yesterday, and a great job by him, is Peyton Allen. This will be his 10th appearance. In his 9 previous appearances, only 3 of them have been starts. He's 1-1 with 3 saves, so he can kind of really do it all. 29 and two-thirds innings pitched, 17 hits, and 6 earned runs. That's good for a 1.82 ERA, and he has just been absolutely sharp this entire season. And speaking of sharp, he's looked really good in his starts. All the way back on June 8th was his first one, 5 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs against the Chinooks. In his second start, that was June 22nd versus the Chinooks. Once again, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs. Looked very good again. And then here against the Bucks, this was a away game for the Pilots where Zan Rose was also pitching on the other side. The Bucks took that one in a 4-1 victory, but they cannot score off of Peyton Allen. 6 innings pitched, 1 hit given up to this Bucks offense, and no earned runs. So if you think that the Bucks offense won't get held to just one run, considering what happened yesterday's game, well, it would be crazy to think that they'd get held to no runs or 1 run against Peyton Allen for the second straight time he pitches against them. So just 3 starts, everything else coming out of the bullpen. Like I said, those 3 saves, that is tied with Tommy Beam on the team for most amount of saves, and that is really interesting to have a guy super good on the mound as a starter and also really good as a reliever, especially in closed situations. So Peyton Allen will go for his 4th start and his 10th appearance in league play. Obviously, this one coming into the playoffs. And like I said, for Peyton Allen, a guy that's not going to blow you away with the amount of strikeouts, 15 strikeouts in almost 30 innings. Definitely not a big strikeout guy, but from what we know about him, pitches to weak contact and obviously does not allow a lot of base hits nor a lot of runs. And just 1 run given up, 2 runs is the most he's ever given up. Sorry, check that. 3 runs is the most he's ever given up. That was a relief appearance against the Miners. 2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. That was a really tough outing for him. So hoping not for the same for himself, but the Bucks looking for that same magic that the Miners had against him all the way back on June 28th. And who he'll be facing is Zan Rose, and he has been absolutely sharp this whole season, Will.
Yeah, Mr. Rose has been fantastic. A 1.14 ERA coming into this one. 7 appearances, 6 of them starts. Has a 4-0 record. Probably should be 3-0 because he was given a win for a game he did not go 5 innings. But 39 and a third innings pitched, 26 hits, 8 runs, just 5 of them earned. So would love to see the defense cleaned up a little bit behind him. 39 strikeouts, third in the ABL regular season behind just Wyatt Halverson and Frankie Golko, and then just 13 walks in those 39 and a third innings for Zan Rose. This will be his 3rd time facing the Pilots. We talked about that matchup on the 24th with Peyton Allen, where Rose went 6 innings, giving up just 1 earned run. No runs for the Bucks while he was on the mound. So would love to see a little bit more run support with all 4 runs for that Bucks 4-1 win coming in the 8th inning. He also pitched against the Pilots way back on June 9th, 4 innings, 2 hits, and no runs. His last time out was on Tuesday against the Miners, just 4 2/3 innings, tough conditions with the weather, 4 hits. That had some arguable calls as well in the scoring department. 3 runs, 1 earned. Probably shouldn't have been any. 91 pitches just 4 days ago. So we'll see how fresh he is. 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. And we know that Rose does not like to give those base on balls. And the guys he'll be trying to avoid walking go as follows. Dylan Marks will lead things off for the Pilots, playing second base with Luke Hefner Jr., his middle infield partner, batting right behind him in the 2 hole, and Luke Stolga, the right fielder, rounding out the top 3. Junior Barajas, the designated hitter, will bat fourth. That top 4, the exact same top 4 that Rose faced against these Pilots back on the 24th of July. And Jake Dodge, the first baseman, came in yesterday in the middle of the game. He gets the start today, playing first base and batting 5th. And Jacob Coes, playing left field, will bat 6th. Logan Sanders starts in center field again. He's batting 7th, with Evan Chadwick behind the plate batting 8th. And Marcus Sanders, the third baseman, coming in as a replacement, batting ninth with Peyton Allen on the mound. Once again, it's Marks, Hefner, and Stolga, Barajas, Dodge, and Coes, Logan Sanders, Evan Chadwick, and Marcus Sanders. Three changes for the Pilots: Marcus Sanders, Jake Dodge, and Evan Chadwick in, Troy Sanders, Owen Hayes, and Chase Knight out. As for the Bucs, just one change, which you'll notice pretty quickly at the top. Cole Carlone led off yesterday, not available today with that quad injury, so Max Ross gets the leadoff spot. He's playing center field, with Andrew Lamb in right field batting second, and Ryan Callahan once again on the hot corner batting third. Tommy Eisenstadt will play first base and bat cleanup, with Brody Briggs behind the plate batting fifth, and Will Burns playing shortstop and batting sixth. Adam Enyart gets the start. We saw him come in for Carlone. He's batting seventh and will serve as a designated hitter, with Riley Hunsaker in left field batting eighth, and Rob Vandergrift finishing things out batting ninth and playing second base, once again with Zan Rose on the mound. It's Ross, Lamb, and Callahan, Eisenstadt, Briggs, and Burns, Enyart, Hunsaker, and Vandergrift. Our Blues for today's game, a three-man crew: Nicholas Reynolds behind home plate, Daryl Cooper at first base, and Bob Melms at third base. But obviously we know with the three-man crew, they will move around a little bit depending on where runners are. As the PA announcer begins announcing the lineups for both teams, the Pilots are going to rock their camo uniforms with gray pants and blue caps, and the Bucs back in black. We saw them wearing the white pinstripe yesterday. Today, just those for the pants, back to the black tops with the black hats with the white front of those hats, and that yellow B to represent the Bucs, as we're almost ready for game two, just approaching 1:56, so just about 4 or 5 minutes away from first pitch, almost 6 o'clock for those of you tuning in on the East Coast. 63 degrees, mostly sunny, a few clouds scattered for this day game here at Mulcahy Stadium. Bucs trying to sweep the Pilots, book their ticket into the ABL Championship Series, but going to be no easy task with Peyton Allen on the mound, but no guy that you might rather go into battle with than Zan Rose. Just been fantastic all season long. For the Bucs, we don't know how long Carlone will be out, but we know he's not available today. Might have seen him pitching today had he been healthy. In fact, probably would have, but not going to be the case. And hopefully Enyart has a good day at the plate. He made the most of his one chance pinch hitting yesterday, and we'll see him towards the bottom of the order as the last batter, Rob Vandergrift, gets announced, and Zan Rose is up next. And then after that, we will step aside, let you hear our nation's national anthem before we get ready for first pitch of game two.
Now we ask you please rise, face the flag in left field, move your head here, join us in honoring America with the playing of the national anthem.
Hope you enjoyed the national anthem. Just about ready for first pitch as Zan Rose will start making his warm-up tosses to Brody Briggs behind the plate, with Tommy Eisenstadt at first base, Rob Vandergrift at second base, Will Burns at shortstop, and Ryan Callahan rounding out the infield playing third base. Riley Hunsaker will be in left field, Max Ross in center field, and Andrew Lamb in right field. Due up in the first inning for the Pilots, it'll be Dylan Marks, Luke Hefner Jr., and Luke Stolga. Like I mentioned, them three plus Barajas, the first four guys that Rose faced back on July 24th. It was a double for Marks, and then three fly balls from Hefner, Stolga, and Barajas to end that first inning. Dodge and Coes were also in the lineup that day. The bottom three in the order today: Logan Sanders, Evan Chadwick and Marcus Sanders were not a part of that lineup, and Chadwick and Marcus Sanders have not faced Rose yet all year. Other than that, it'll be all familiar faces. And for Rose, definitely a guy that you're not too worried about going into the playoffs. A calm guy, always seems in control, and don't think that this moment will be too big for him at all. 6'1", 215 out of Tampa, Florida, a rising redshirt sophomore out of Winthrop University, the righty. He's been fantastic for the Bucs all season long, pitching on a little bit shorter rest than we're used to, but sometimes in the playoffs, that's just how things go. Probably Coach Springman, Coach Montez, and company would have liked to have him start tomorrow, but with the injury to Carlone, sometimes you just have to change things up a little bit. So hopefully that doesn't phase him, and getting the call a day early won't be any problems with him. And I honestly would not expect it to. Like we talked about, going to be key for the Bucs to get into that Pilots bullpen. And for Zan Rose, his key will probably be to pitch as long as he can just because of how effective he has been. It all starts with the leadoff man, Dylan Marks, who steps in now and stepping up to the mic for the first 3 innings, Vic Maslia.
Thank you, Will. Big game 2. The Bucs want to enjoy that day off tomorrow and get ready for the championship. But it all starts with the first inning, first pitch from Zan Rose, and want to start it on a good note. A quick 1-2-3 inning would really help get the bats back up and hopefully make Zan feel a little bit more comfortable with an early lead. But like I said, starts with the first pitch. Zan getting ready to go. The first pitch, a called strike, and we are underway at Mulcahy Stadium for Game 2 of the first round of the 2024 ABL playoffs. Dylan Marks, the leadoff batter, like usual for the Pilots, swings and misses at that breaker from Zan Rose. He will showcase an electric fastball, slider, and a changeup, and that slider's got a ton of horizontal break.
It sure does.
0-2 to Marks, fouls that one back. Zan, like I was about to say, but has a really good ability to be a strikeout pitcher, but also can pitch to weak contact as well.
100%.
Ahead in the count still to Dylan Marks, the first batter. 0-2 on the way. A weak fly ball out to second. Rob Vandergrift is there. Wraps that in, leather, one away.
Nice to get that soft contact off the end of the bat. Great start for Zan Rose, and it's interesting that the Bucs are batting second as the home team. We were told yesterday it would be the other way around, and in the other series, the Miners, who are playing at their home stadium, Herman Brothers Field, are batting first as the away team. But apparently Coach Price and Coach Springman talked before the game, and the Bucs will be home, but it's not what we expected.
Hefner now stands in, looks at a strike down the middle. That's how he starts his day, and yeah, it is interesting that the Miners are the away team playing at their home turf today. But it was a meeting between Coach Price, Springman, and I'm sure the two GMs, as Hefner fouls that away, and they decided that since the Bucs won the entire league, not just that they're the home seed, that they get to have this first, or they get to have both games, or all 3 games, as the home team.
And winning the Mayor's Cup probably puts some good stock into that argument as well.
Definitely
Sweeping
does.
the Mayor's Cup.
Can't fail to mention that, a sweep of the Mayor's Cup, and Bucs have been just red hot against this Pilots team. Called strike 3, Zan Rose working quickly. A strikeout to Luke Hefner, only took 3 pitches.
Yep, beautiful stuff. If you're going to get strikeouts, that's the way to do it. Just a few pitches, and would love to see Rose get Stolga quickly and get out of here fast. But talking about that sweep of the Mayor's Cup, obviously you want to win this series in any way possible, but doing it in a sweep and sweeping your rivals in the Mayor's Cup and the playoffs, boy, would that be a fantastic season.
A ground ball from Luke Stolga out to Burns at short. This will be easy, and a quick 1-2-3 inning from Zan Rose. No problem, nothing doing for the Pilots. The Bucs bats coming up when we come back. Welcome back. Bottom half of the first inning. Lightning top half of the inning by Zan Rose. A strikeout, quick ground ball, and a lazy flyout. That's all the Pilots had. And on the hill is Peyton Allen for the Pilots, 5'11", 185. And he will face a hot Bucs lineup. But as in terms of yesterday, not super hot, but in general, the past week of games, even longer than that, the Bucs have just been scoring runs at a crazy number.
They sure have, and would not expect this Bucs offense to be quiet 2 days in a row. We did see a stretch earlier in July, but I don't think that you can hold them down. And like we talked about in the pregame, huge for the Bucs to get this pitch count of Peyton Allen up and get him out of this game as soon as they can.
Max Ross leads it off for the Bucs. Haven't seen him in that leadoff spot for a little bit, and that one misses inside. Jake Dodge at first, Dylan Marks at second, Luke Hefner at short, Marcus Sanders at third, Jacob Coes, Logan Sanders, and Luke Stolga going from left field to right field. Called strike to Max Ross.
And we talked yesterday about how we thought the Bucs would be the away team, and you got to get to the park on time to see them hitting. Well, they didn't waste much time getting up to the plate.
Not at all. You had to really be here on time to see this Bucs bats in the first inning. That one's fouled off by Max Ross, who provided the only RBI in yesterday's game. That was the sac bunt laid down to get Ryan Callahan to score. Also had a walk as well, but he was batting towards the middle of the order, which we've seen him there usually, but we have seen him at the top of the order, especially in the month of June. 1-2 swings and misses at a breaker, buried down and in.
Great pitch by Peyton Allen. Looked so appealing most of the way, and then just came in on the hands, and not really much of a chance for Max Ross. But talking about that sac bunt, bringing home Callahan with the lone run. Callahan was on third base because of a wild pitch. He was originally on second, and in a game with just 7 hits between the two clubs, 2 errors by the Pilots and a good number of wild pitches. Those are the little things that go a long way in the playoffs. Who can play the cleaner game? And it was definitely the Bucs yesterday.
You don't usually see a guy like Andrew Lamb go quiet, and he might have just made some noises. That one is hammered into deep right field. Doesn't have enough, and just shy of the warning track. It's caught by Luke Stolga in right field, and boy, did Andrew Lamb hammer that, but just hit a little bit too high to get out of here.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't seen a home run this season with a ball hit that high. So it needed something special with the wind, and if anything right now, it looks like the wind is blowing out to left field, but still good wood on that ball, and that should probably give him confidence next time he comes up.
Ryan Callahan, a double in yesterday's game. That was the only extra base hit and one of the few hits in general for this Bucs team. One misses downstairs to start him.
And these two played together for a year at Kansas. Last time these two teams faced, Allen hit Callahan with a pitch, and they were smiling about it. But these two guys know each other well. Let's see who has the edge.
1-0, misses downstairs. Callahan, like I said, that double was his only hit. Scored a run and also walked, so he's on the base pass a good bit. 8 runners left on base. Isn't a crazy number for the Bucs. We've seen worse. A tapper, Peyton Allen, going to have a chance to put out his former teammate, and he does. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Allen. He takes care of the Bucs. It's scoreless heading into the second inning here in Game 2 of the first round of the ABL playoffs. Into the second inning, moving right along here, and this might be another pitcher's duel. And Will, this is really reminding us of what playoff baseball is really like.
Yep, every little thing goes a long way. Big batter here in Barajas, only 3 hits for the Pilots yesterday. He had 2 of them, and for Rose, pounded the strike zone in that first inning. 8 pitches, all of them strikes, and there is such thing, as we've talked about, as throwing too many strikes. So definitely want to be careful here with Barajas.
First pitch Barajas sees is hammered foul down the first baseline. Speaking of the first baseline, Garvey Rummery is the new first base coach for the Bucs in today's game. Pitched yesterday, so of course want to have someone out there that has no shot at coming into today's ball game. Next one misses downstairs from Zan. Eight pitches, 8 strikes last inning. Whew, that's too good for an immaculate inning.
Yeah, here's the first ball.
1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch fouled back our way.
And for those of you who weren't with us yesterday, the reason that the Bucs have to have their players over at first base is because Austin Dunham, the typical first base coach, back to school where he's a teacher and a baseball coach, and to get the kids geared up and ready to go.
1-2, hot shot out to Rob Vandergrift. He takes it on 1 hop, and the throw to first is in time, 1 away.
Great play by Vandergrift. Just watching it all the way in, was super busy yesterday at second base and handled every play the way that he needed to. Just super sure-handed over there, and we talked about it yesterday. Everything at the plate would be a bonus, but the way this team's been hitting, the Bucs really just need some sure-handed fielding out of him, and they got it on that play and got it yesterday.
Infield shifts over for the lefty Jake Dodge. First pitch he sees is a cold strike. Not a crazy shift, but Callahan way off the line at third. Burns in double play depth over there at short, and Vandergrift deep in the hole at second base. 0-1, big cut and a miss.
Pitch was in on Dodge's hands. Skinny part of the bat. You're not going to hit it with that.
Wind dying down a little bit. Wasn't too crazy before first pitch. 0-2. Check swing. Doesn't matter. Cold strike 3. Zan Rose feeling himself. 2 strikeouts early on in this ball game.
He might be pitching a day earlier than he expected, but he's been locked in from the get-go here. You would never know it, and just so fun to watch pitch when he's confident and really working through batters the way he has been so far. Some strikeouts, some contact, but outs all the way.
Now Jacob Coase, the left fielder, takes a big hack and miss at that one. And both strikeouts looking strikeouts. Of course, pitchers always want it as the swinging variety, but still, just confusing these batters, not knowing what to swing at. Getting a lot of swings and misses before that strike 3 call. Now another weak ground ball, this time again to Vandergrift. He makes the underhanded toss, and Zan Rose, a lightning fast second frame, almost as quick as the first one. We head to the bottom half of this second inning. The Bucs bats looking to get going. Back here, bottom half of the second inning. Vic Masley and Will Hopkins here with you. Game 2 of the first round of the ABL playoffs. A win secures the Bucs spot in the championship game that will start Tuesday, another 3-game series. But first, a tight ball game, scoreless ball game, a pitcher's duel so far, but wouldn't call it a pitcher's duel officially unless Peyton Allen has another recordly fast inning.
Yeah, and this is a key part of the Bucs order 4, 5, and 6 because Eisenstadt, Briggs, and Burns a combined 0 for 6 off of Allen back on July 24th. Would love to see them step it up.
1-0 to Eisenstadt is cracked foul. Bucs back to their black jerseys. Thought that if seeing them in their white pinstripes yesterday, getting the win would encourage them to just keep rolling with those jerseys, but maybe one run not enough for them and want to switch it up a little bit, going back to the black jerseys, which we saw showcase so much during the end of this regular season. Saw the Bucs wear that at least 7 or 8 games in a row almost, even at home sometimes.
Yep, I think the Bucs maybe not as superstitious as you are, maybe just a little stitious.
2-1, ground ball out to second base. First chance for Dylan Marks, and he makes the play, no problem, one down.
Yep, ton of balls at second base. Yesterday we saw Troy Sanders play really well over there at second. Today it's Dylan Marks, and so far clean baseball from him.
That'll bring up Brody Briggs. Briggs 0 for 3 yesterday, did draw a walk. Bucs had 5 walks, which was pretty good in getting the starter Stewart out fairly early. Didn't go too long, and the Bucs were able to pick up that 1 run against Stewart, but it was that sack bunt, so I wouldn't say he laid an egg or anything.
And for Stewart, just 7 walks coming in, so did not expect as many walks. Obviously not all of them off of him, but still.
Briggs chops this one past the glove of Peyton Allen. Marks got to go quickly, and he makes a nice play. And whether it's Marks or Sanders at second base, they seem to have a sure-handed glove every time at the 4 spot.
Super clean play. Thought for a second he might have to go with the bare hand, but he did have enough time to glove it and reach in that glove and make the peg to first. And unfortunate for Briggs, who we know gets down the line well. So really took a good play from Marks, and that's what the Pilots got.
I think the chopper helped too. The ball came at him almost at glove level anyway, so he didn't have to reach down and barehand it.
Great point.
He was able to just glove it and throw it all at the same level. First pitch strike to Will Burns. Peyton Allen getting ready for another quick 1-2-3 inning, but has a tough bat in Will Burns. He hits this off his knuckles, and again, it's Dylan Marks. He makes all 3 outs for the Pilots, no problem. Peyton Allen, Zan Rose, all cruising here to start. We head to the 3rd inning. Cruising right along here at Mulcahy Stadium. Scoreless as we enter the top half of the 3rd inning, and Zan Rose, Peyton Allen, the story of this ball game. It was similar to yesterday. Garvey Rummery and Tyler Stewart, both of those two struggling a little bit early with traffic on the base pass. Garvey was able to get out a couple of jams, but nothing too crazy. But for Zan Rose and Peyton Allen, it has just been the total opposite. Complete control through the first 6 batters. Now the first batter this inning, Logan Sanders, the 7-hole hitter. It'll be him, Evan Chadwick, and the other Sanders brother, Marcus.
Logan always rocking this camo helmet. Doesn't quite match the camo jersey, though.
Next pitch from Zan misses away.
Logan Sanders faced Zan Rose back on June 9th, Rose's first appearance against the Pilots. 1 for 2 with a double.
2-0 fouled off his leg. That doesn't feel good. We'll walk around, get some feeling back. Logan was in the lineup yesterday, and Troy was also in the lineup. So Troy is out, Marcus is in. Marcus Sanders playing at third base has not had an opportunity over there yet. Second baseman's been busy. Vandergrift with 3 plays to him, 2 ground balls, and a fly out, and Dylan Marks making all the plays last inning to retire the side. Another glove side miss from Zan Rose, struggling a little bit in this at bat to command.
That time it looked like the ball just kind of stuck in his hand a little bit long. Didn't quite have the release point.
Hitters count for Sanders. Next one, called strike on the outer half, and really good to locate that pitch on the outer half after missing there last time.
And knowing Rose, he's going to try to throw something over the zone here, challenge Sanders, and make him earn a base hit.
Full count pitch. Hit to right field. Coming on is Lamb, but he's going to have to play that on a hop. First base hit for the Pilots goes to Logan Sanders.
Yeah, Lamb a little bit indecisive in terms of if he wanted to come in or out, and you'd always rather that ball land in front than you go the other way and you overrun it and it's over your head. So not the end of the world. Sanders with a decent piece of hitting, but for Rose, it was a quality pitch. He made Sanders reach for it, just unable to get the out.
That will bring up the catcher, Evan Chadwick. First base runner aboard for either team. First base hit for either team. Chadwick squares. That one's outside. He pulls it back.
Chadwick not in the lineup yesterday. We saw Barajas, the DH today, behind the plate yesterday.
3-man umpire crew, so no one down at third base right now. Up in Palmer, they do have 4. Squares again. That one just a bit outside. And Rose trying to make it really tough for Chadwick to bunt this ball, and going on the outside part of the plate really helps. And Will, you think if Miners have 4 umpires right now for the championship, if the Bucs can win, would there maybe be 6?
Oh, down the lines maybe?
I don't know. 2-0 squares again. That one's outside again. 3 straight misses from Zan Rose, all glove side.
And you got to be careful here because you can't necessarily assume that if you throw a fastball right down the middle, 3-0, he's going to be bunting. Just getting the signs from Coach Rich Price over there at third base, he might be telling him to single out for one pitch and might have the green light. So you can't necessarily throw it down the middle just assuming he's going to show bunt.
3-0 coming, and it's a strike.
Although it was a strike, it was not right down the middle, so one that Chadwick probably wouldn't have swung at. 3-0, and now 3-1. Wouldn't be surprised if Chadwick goes back to showing bunt.
Hitters count. This time for Chadwick, squares again. That's a called strike as he pulls it back. The outside corner. Rose is trying to paint that through the first 3 pitches when Chadwick was squaring. Lands it right now and back in the count. Payoff pitch to come. Last time resulted in a base hit to Logan Sanders. He squares again, and he's going to get this down. The first base line, a really good bunt. Eisenstadt missed the tag. Here's the play at first, and it's not in time. Eisenstadt missing the tag, almost double clutched it, and was late on the throw to first base, and in there safely is Evan Chadwick.
Super unfortunate play for the Bucs. I was surprised that he showed bunt with 2 strikes, and a good play by Eisenstadt over there to play the ball because that was not going to roll foul. And I can't blame him for trying to apply the tag because he was so close, and then by the time he switched his mind up, it was too late.
So that'll bring up Marcus Sanders, and Bucs are expecting another bunt from this Pilots team. Callahan weigh in on the grass. Sanders squares, misses outside though as Zan Rose, the first pitch, and then a little bit of a jam here.
Yeah, that's a huge spot in this game. 2 guys on in a playoff game that we saw low scoring yesterday, low scoring so far today with no runs. It's a big spot.
Eisenstadt weigh in as well. Here's the pitch. He gets it down. Briggs will have 1 play, and it's to first. He makes it. 1 down. Good job by Vandergrift covering first base, but that does get both runners to advance in scoring position, and it takes away the force out.
Yeah, it does. A good job by Sanders doing his job. Also a good job by Briggs doing his job the only way he could defend that play. And now Rose is going to have 2 good sequences here if the Bucs are going to come out of this without surrendering any runs.
Dylan marks the lazy pop out to Vandergrift at second base. Infield is in, protecting that precious first run from the Pilots, and maybe that second that's over there at second base. Van Reddy brings the first offering, and it's swung on and missed. Marks way late on that off speed, or maybe the fastball.
The only thing with bringing the infield in, it does increase the chances of Chadwick scoring at second, but obviously hurts, or it decreases the chances of Sanders coming in from third. So those are the decisions you have to make as a manager.
0-1 pitch, fouled away. He's ahead 0-2, and those decisions mostly coming from Sanagorski, I would say. He's the conductor out there telling the infield and outfield where to position themselves, but of course Springman, of course, having a say in that as well, and I'm sure Montez does too, even though he's mainly the pitching coach. Can't forget he's head coach at Ottawa U, so has that experience as well. No balls, 2 strikes to Marks. The pitch from Zan swung on and missed. Went with the slider, and that is pure confidence. Zan Rose able to make it 2 down, and the last hope here in the third inning is Luke Hefner.
That slider slid, that's for sure. Such a good put-away pitch, especially 0-2. You started on the outside corner, and by the time it gets towards home plate, it's too far outside for Marks to get a bat on. And with 2 in scoring position and 1 out, a strikeout, such a high-quality out. And now any out will do the job with Zanrose facing Hefner.
Marks' disadvantage being a righty, and here's a lefty, and Luke Hefner struck out looking his first at bat, pops this one up, might be trouble into left center field, coming on, and it's going to be over the head of Riley Hunsaker. 2 runs scored with ease. It's going to be a stand-up 2 RBI double for Luke Hefner as that ball just kept tailing away from both outfielders.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Bucs, that was just placed in the perfect spot by Luke Hefner, right in between Ross and Hunsaker, and neither one able to make that play.
Didn't look like it was hit super hard off the bat, but it kept carrying, and Hefner really did get a hold of it. So that will bring up Luke Stolga, another runner in scoring position. Hefner trades places with Chadwick. First one's grounded foul. Haven't seen Zanrose give up runs like that. Seemingly this whole season, he's seen him struggle a couple of times. But it is unusual to see this.
In fairness to him, I mean, that bunt single, really not his fault. He would have liked to have already seen 3 outs, but for Rose, just got to lock in. 2 runs is not the end of the world, but
0-1 ground ball. Great stop by Callahan. Has to go. The long throw is not in time. Eisenstadt has to come off the bag, and wisely so. But that did save another run from scoring.
Yeah, it sure did. Callahan was not going to make that play in terms of making the throw across in time just because of how far past that third base bag it was hit. But huge for Hefner to stay at third. And right as I was going to say before that pitch was delivered, 2 runs have scored, yes, but if you're Rose, just can't let another one in.
Bucks have to score 1 anyways, just to win the ball game, so might as well score 2.
Or 3.
Junior Barajas now the batter. First pitch he sees, swung on and missed. Zan still has that command and control. Seems like the one bad mistake resulted in that double by Luke Hefner. That really was the one mistake he's made. Everything else, it's been fairly weak contact.
Yeah, he's maybe throwing a few too many strikes. 8 balls, 30 strikes.
0-1. That just misses on the inside part of the plate.
Really solid pitch.
Yeah, Barajas standing close does not help. Runners at first and third. Stolga at first, Hefner at third base. Van trying to get himself out of a third inning jam here. Low and inside to Barajas. Grounded out to Rob Vandergrift at second base in his at-bat in the second. It was 6 up, 6 down for Zanrose and for Peyton Allen. Hopefully for the Bucs, they can get a couple runs back, at least one. 2-1, ground ball out to Vandergrift again. He's going to flip to Will Burns, and that brings the third inning to a close. But that is all after a 2 RBI double from Luke Hefner makes this a 2-0 game as we head in the bottom half of the third. Bottom half of the third inning, unfortunately, the Pilots getting 2 runs and a 2 RBI double from the shortstop Luke Hefner in the top half of this first inning, but the Bucs looking to answer back, at least get 1 run back.
Yeah, I would love to see the bottom third of the order feed the top. And like you said, just at least get 1 back.
Yeah, Inyard, Hunsaker, Vandegrift due up for the top half. Allen fires that one, and it's fouled off by Adam Inyard, who came in after Carlone went down with an injury, picked up a base hit in his lone at bat. Excuse me, had 2 at bats, went 1 for 2. Now facing Peyton Allen, a tough righty. That one's fouled back again, quickly down 0-2.
Allen's been tough and came in saying, I'd like to see the Bucs work up that pitch count. Well, 15 pitches in the first 2 innings, definitely not doing that.
Yeah. But the Pilots having a shrunk down pitching staff, it's not a lot of arms to go to, so they're going to ride Peyton Allen for as long as they possibly can. And using 2 relievers yesterday doesn't sound like a lot, but for the Pilots, that is a lot. They want to just use 1, maximum 2 relievers. Realistically, obviously, that's so tough to do. Another foul ball by Adam Inyard. But if Peyton Allen can give them 7 or 8 innings and allow them just to use 1 reliever, they would be super happy with that. The Bucs trying to not make that happen. One ball, 2 strikes. Infield straight up for Inyard. Misses with that slider away.
And the thing with Enyart playing as the DH, if he comes in to pitch later, the Bucs would lose their DH. Something to think about.
2-2. Right down A Street called strike 3. Adam Inyard is retired. Was a pretty long at bat in terms of Peyton Allen and how he's been pitching to Bucs batters, but still want to get some traffic on the base pass and make it a little more uncomfortable for Allen. Hopefully Hunsaker will do the trick.
Yeah, make some of these pitches uncomfortable for him. Stressful pitches. Again, not every pitch is the same, and with guys on, they're tougher to make, and guys like Hunsaker can be a distraction on the base pass too.
That's a called strike to Hunsaker, who's now playing mostly left field. If he has to, I would say right field would be the next option, but want to keep him out of center, especially if Max Ross stays healthy. Next one misses outside. That is because Hunsaker's still nursing that hamstring injury that he's dealt with for a long time now, and don't want to make him play in center field and have to run all over the place for fly balls. If Ross is healthy, let him do that. Give Hunsaker easier opportunity in left. Another miss from Peyton Allen makes it 2-1. Bucs with 3 righty bats in the lineup. That's pretty much the magic number going forward. Now 3-1 count to Hunsaker. Burns, Inyard, Vandegrift. Castillo 2 is a righty. 3-1, a called strike to Hunsaker.
Yeah, the bench bats are limited right now. It's really just Castillo and Maltby. Could go to Eli Lipinski if you need to, but he hasn't had an at-bat in league play. But with injuries and departures, very limited bench.
Payoff pitch is hammered down the first base line. That's a fair ball. It's going to head all the way to the wall. Hunsaker, big turnaround first. He's going to motor his way into second. Check that. He's going to try for 3. Here comes the throw. It is not in time. A triple for Riley Hunsaker, and the Bucs get a rally going here in the third.
Boy, is that huge for Riley Hunsaker. He was on the Jets as soon as he left the batter's box, and rightfully so, because it was a close play over there at third, but so big for him to get to third with 1 out. No out or 2 outs, he probably stays at second, but with 1 out now, just a sac fly from Vandegrift could get him in.
Bucs trying to chip away at that lead. Pilots picked it up the top half of this third inning with a 2 RBI double from Hefner over there at shortstop, and the Bucs just trying to chip away, and Vandegrift squares, and that's going to be a strike. Not sure if he tipped it.
I think he did, yeah.
Umpire said foul ball, so it is a foul ball, and it is a quick strike 1. Jake Dodge is super shallow up in the infield.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's got to be careful that Vandegrift doesn't pull it back.
And take his head off.
No balls, one strike. Infield way in for the Pilots, trying to save that run. Big swing and a miss from Vandegrift. Missed every stitch of that slider.
And now Dodge backs up. Could not have been a fun task. He's still pretty far in, though.
See if they give Vandegrift the sign to bunt with 2 strikes. Seen it done before. It is not done now, and that one just misses off the plate.
Great take. Really tough pitch to take, and a good one from Vandegrift because that's a tough pitch to do much with.
Sun shining here on a beautiful playoff baseball day. Vandegrift fouls it back, stays alive.
And getting down 0-2. That's the name of the game right now. Just stay alive, make Peyton Allen throw a few more pitches. If you can get one that even you can just sky to the outfield, or even bloop with this infield so far in.
1-2, way outside. Great stop by Chadwick behind home plate. That saved a run.
Yep, sure did. We know how speedy Hunsaker is. We just saw that speed on display.
And it was easy speed, too. It didn't look like it took a lot of effort for him to make it to third base. And it's a great job by Hunsaker. And maybe with no injury this whole season, maybe makes it there standing up. 2-2, great fight by Vandegrift, fouling off another pitch.
Yeah, great speed from Hunsaker. Noah Lyles-esque, might I say.
Oh, yeah. Fastest man on the face of the earth.
That's a balk. That's got to be a balk. That's got to be a balk.
I think they're saying that he's not on the rubber.
Oh. Peyton Allen dropped the ball.
I assume that he's not on the rubber. That's, all umpires are agreeing with the same call. 2-2. Called strike 3 to Vandegrift. That one hurts.
That one really hurts. Went from thinking that maybe you had a run to a strikeout in the span of about 5 seconds.
But not all hope is lost. The Bucs have been really good with 2 outs, and especially Max Ross, not necessarily with 2 outs, but just bringing in runs.
Huge RBI guy for this team.
18 on the season. And much less at bats than the guys at the top, I would say.
And as much as you maybe don't want to pitch to him because of that RBI total and that he's left-handed and a couple of bases open, the guy's coming up also left-handed and great hitters with RBIs.
1-0, down and in. Good take by Ross. That was the same pitch he struck out on. Down and in pitch from Peyton Allen, buried on the back foot. So making the adjustment already is Max Ross. 2 balls, no strikes. Ground ball weakly hit out to Jake Dodge at first. He will take it himself and eliminate the threat for the Bucs here in the bottom half of the third. And a 1-out triple from Riley Hunsaker unfortunately goes to waste. The Bucs cannot pick up a run. It's still a 2-0 lead for the Pilots as we head to the fourth. Welcome back. Top half of the fourth inning. Pilots due back up again. It's Jake Dodge, and now with the play-by-play through the middle 3 is Will Hopkins.
Thank you very much, Vic. No runs for the Bucs in the bottom of the third inning. Riley Hunsaker left stranded at third base. As the first pitch to Dodge skied foul territory, out of play on the right side. And for Rose, key here, do not panic. Just a couple of runs for the Pilots. We know that the Bucs have done a lot of their work against the Pilots in the later innings. And with that Hunsaker triple, felt like a little something was going. Just get it back to those Bucs bats as soon as you can. 0-1 to Dodge, grounded foul just to the right of that first base bag. Good start for Rose. 2 strikes now.
Yeah, and the biggest, most important thing is a 1-2-3 inning. Just get back in the groove. Let the Pilots know you've found that command, and not that he's lost the command, but has found a better command of the strike zone.
Way up in the air, popped him up on the infield. It'll be the captain of the infield, Will Burns, to make the play for a quick, easy first out.
And that really helps. Like I said, the comfortability builds when you have a 1-2-3 inning after giving up 2 runs. It really does. And he can settle into this ball game. Could see him go 6 innings plus if he has the same successes in the first 2 frames.
This pitch is 45th inside on Jacob Coase. He grounded out to Rob Vandegrift his first time up. Not the only man in this Pilots order that can say that.
Not at all.
Rose working pretty quickly. 1-0 too far inside again, also downstairs.
And you know that Zandrose really wants to get Logan Sanders back up, who's on deck, and retire him. Because that started the last inning. Base hit from Sanders, then another one from Chadwick.
Missing now 3-0, and all 3 hits in that inning were close to being outs. That ball dropping just a few feet in front of Andrew Lamb, and then the bunt, Eisenstadt almost making the play, and even the double into left center field, close to both Ross and Hunsaker making it. And unfortunately for Rose, loses Coase on 4 pitches. Not a very Zan Rose-like at bat.
No, when we talk to Zan, he always prides himself on not letting free passes go by, and when we see free passes from him, usually it's a big battle, and that time 4 straight balls, and wondering what's up with the command because it looked so good against Jake Dodge just 1 at bat previous.
Hey, if you're going to walk someone, might as well be 4 pitches from a pitch count standpoint.
100%.
So now, like you mentioned, Logan Sanders, the man who started that rally, swings at the first pitch and bounces it foul. It was a 2-run third for the Pilots. Sanders getting it started, and he came around to score along with Evan Chadwick on the Luke Hefner double. Chadwick, the man on deck. No balls and a strike to the center fielder. Thought about pulling the trigger, but wisely didn't. Now 1-1.
Yeah, if that slider backs up a little bit and it's more over the plate, definitely getting a swing and miss from Sanders.
Goes a decent lead at first base. Not going. And a beautiful pitch painted on the outside corner.
Yeah, really tough pitch to hit if you're Sanders, and definitely a good pitch to take, but now you're down 2 strikes.
1-2. Rose would love a strikeout or even better, a ground ball to one of his infielders. Logan Sanders, a speedster, wouldn't be easy to double up though. And he gets him swinging a slow breaker, had Sanders way out in front, big second out from Zan Rose.
Yeah, Sanders, even though he took that really competitive pitch from Zandrose a couple pitches ago, still looked very uncomfortable in that at-bat, and Zandrose looked totally ahead. And here's another tough bat in Evan Chadwick, who laid down a really nice bunt.
Ended up beating it out for a single, but I was not with 2 outs. He was more looking to move Sanders over, so wouldn't expect him to do that with Coase at first, but 2 away. He's not showing, and he takes a strike.
Man, can't let off the gas pedal right now. Those 2 runs, the double from Hefner came with 2 outs. The Pilots doing good work.
Rose trying to keep the deficit at just 2 runs for the Bucs when they come to the plate in the bottom of the 4th. It'll be 2, 3, and 4. Ground ball from Chadwick over to Callahan. Long throw coming across the diamond is right on the money. Coase walks on 4 pitches, but that's it for the Pilots in the top of the 4th. Bucs looking to cut into this 2-run deficit when we come back. Bottom of the fourth inning here at Mulcahy Stadium. Game 2 of the first round of the ABL playoffs, with the Bucs leading the series 1-0, but trailing the game 2-0. Peyton Allen's still out there, obviously, because he's only thrown 37 pitches. Talked about one of the keys being for the Bucs to at least jump on him in the pitch count department, and hasn't really been the case. So not going to have a lot of innings to work with the way things are going off other pitchers. Might have to do some damage off of him. Hopefully Andrew Lamb can do that. Put a really good swing on the first pitch he saw off of Allen, a deep fly ball to right field just shy of the warning track. Back in the first inning, it's Lamb, Callahan, Eisenstadt. Swings at this one and lines it right into the mid of Luke Hefner. Super unfortunate for Andrew Lamb, who's hit the ball hard twice.
Yeah, really just got unlucky and tried to go the opposite field there. Tested the waters pull side, didn't like that, and just gets unlucky going opposite field there.
Now Callahan steps in. Callahan making the final out in the top of this fourth inning. Just one hit for the Bucs, the Riley Hunsaker triple with one out last inning. Callahan takes a strike over the middle.
Allen just really filling up the zone, has done a really good job, and almost the same problem for him as Zan has had. Almost too many strikes, but the Bucs have hit it hard on some pitches, just have not gotten lucky.
Callahan now 0-2 after the foul ball, and for Allen, a little bit more of a modest ratio, but still a solid one. 15 balls, 26 strikes. But for Zanrose, 15 balls, 39 strikes. So really been finding the zone more and more hits for the Pilots. Gonna make slight mistakes when you throw it over the plate that often. See if Callahan gets one to hit. Wow, just a tad bit outside. Allen wanted it, and fair. It looked like a good pitch for Callahan. Not sure he would have been able to do much with that anyways. Takes it for ball one.
Yeah, really. Might be a good break for the Bucs on that one, especially Callahan.
Callahan puts it on the ground. Going to be a tough play for the first baseman, Dodge, who turns around and makes a great throw.
Yeah, he really did, and that was a tough play, ranging to that side, but he knew he had some time, and he used it wisely, and good job by Peyton Allen getting over there. That's a tough PFP play to work on, and they nailed it.
Well, I think Peyton Allen might have an infielder background, if I'm being honest, because after Dodge threw him that ball, I saw Allen make a beautiful sidearm toss across the diamond to get it thrown around. So,
yeah, definitely. Would not be surprised.
His normal delivery is about 3/4, but it was even more sidearm when he made that toss after the play had been made. Starts Eisenstadt with a strike. Eisenstadt grounding out to Dylan Marks, the second baseman. His first time up.
Allen just has the build of being almost a middle infielder.
Low and outside. Allen, 5'11", 185, Prosper, Texas. Eisenstadt trying to give Briggs a chance. He's in the on-deck circle. As Eisenstadt finds himself in a decent count now, 2-1, and although it doesn't seem like much, it's better than most of these Bucs hitters have seen. Two balls and one strike to the first baseman. Grounder to his counterpart. Another play for Dodge. He's not going to need Allen this time as he steps on first base himself. The Bucs go down quietly, 1-2-3 as we head to the fifth inning. Bucs trailing 2-0. Throw down to second base from Brody Briggs, and we're ready for the fifth inning. Things cruising right along here at Mulcahy Stadium. 50 minutes in, and unfortunately, both the runs coming so far from the Pilots. Van Rose trying to keep it at just a 2-run deficit. Marcus Sanders, Dylan Marks, and Luke Hefner, the three due up. Sanders had a sac bunt his first time up. Moved guys from first to second and third. That was the two who bat previous to him, Logan Sanders and Evan Chadwick, and then both of them came around to score, so he kind of deserves an assist and all of that. 2 balls, no strikes, 56 pitches now for the Zan man. Fires a strike.
Man, for Zan, just have to go out there and keep thinking maybe I won't get that run support, so I really need to keep this lead at 2-0 for the Pilots. That's the biggest thing. Wow, that had a lot of break.
Sure did. Ends up pretty far outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 walk so far for Zan Rose, trying to keep it at just that as he induces a ground ball to Will Burns. Charges, gloves, and throws. There's the first out.
Just need more of that. Quick and easy outs. That was a little bit of a longer at bat than we would have liked, but still not too bad.
So now Mark steps up. He's popped out to Vandegrift and struck out. 0 for 2 so far. 4 hits for the Pilots. 1 from Hefner, 1 from Stolga, 1 from Sanders, and 1 from Chadwick. For the Bucs, it's just the triple from Riley Hunsaker. As Marks takes a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch from Zan Rose. Working quickly once again, 0-1. Count evens. Bucs got to get a rally going, but first, like you said, important that Rose keeps it at just a 2-run game. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and just a couple of inches outside. Rose ready. Now the 2-1. Swing and miss. Went with that slider, breaking away from those righties. Boy, is that a weapon.
Yeah, it looks really sharp. Just tons of horizontal movement. Starts in the inner half and can even land on the other batter's box sometimes.
Goes back to it and put it in a pretty similar spot, but Mark's too wise for it. So now full count. Rose trying to get Marks out before Hefner comes up to the plate.
Probably back to the fastball here.
He does go with the fastball, and Marks is late.
Yeah, Briggs he's a big fastball catcher, and I think with some of the misses on the sliders, doesn't want to chance it. Give up a 1-out walk.
7th pitch of this sequence to number 7. Coming. And it's too far downstairs. Marks wins the battle and takes first with Rose's second walk. Brings up Hefner with 1 out and 1 on. Hefner with that big 2 RBI double just a couple of innings ago in the third, scoring Chadwick and Sanders. That hit the difference in this game. Could be the difference between the Bucs playing tomorrow and not playing tomorrow, but we hope that the Bucs can do some things offensively to take it away. Good first pitch strike from Zan Rose. Rose trying to get out of here as quickly as possible in this inning to extend his outing. Approaching 70 pitches. 0-1, runner goes, pitches grounded to first. Eisenstadt only has 1 play, and that's at first, and that was because of Marks going. Broke up a potential double play, or at least getting that lead runner out.
Yeah, really helped the Pilots out a little bit, but they're down to their last out here. It's still Stolga who had a base in his last at-bat, so Zan Rose not out of the woods at all yet.
Nope, not at all. That was an infield hit that Ryan Callahan laid out to keep on the infield. That was all he could do. Marks at second. Stolga at the plate with 2 away. And he hammers the first pitch deep to left field, hooking towards the foul pole, and it's going to stay in fair territory for a 2-run homer. It's 4-0 Pilots.
Yeah, emotions almost getting out of hand now. I think it was a long look from Luke Stolga. Brody Briggs not liking that. Got to protect your pitcher for sure.
2-run shot hammered over the wall in left field, just about 5 or 10 feet to the right of that foul pole, and now
he's got to be careful. I mean,
now
he's
it looks
had
like
enough.
the umpires are going to have a chat with one another, and
they
it's
should.
probably about that.
They should have a warning for him. I mean, it's just, oh my goodness, that is, ugh. I mean, obviously, it's different league of baseball, but I don't know. That seemed like a little excessive for me, and seems like Brody Briggs had the same thought and was jawing at Brody Briggs, who literally was saying nothing to him as he was coming around home plate. I think Briggs got all that he needed to get out of his system when Stolga hit the home run, and then Stolga's coming around to touch home plate, and he still has more to say to him. So I don't really know what that's about, and I don't know why the Pilots have so much more emotion in a negative way than the Bucs do. Yesterday, found out that it wasn't Junior Barajas chirping at Andrew Lamb, and it was another Pilots player. So I don't know where the chippiness is coming from, but this is not a team to make mad.
Definitely not. 4-0. Now the lead for the Pilots, and wisely, Nicholas Reynolds, the home plate umpire, between Briggs and Stolga, as Stolga was coming home on his 3rd homer of the year. Making sure nothing physical happened, but Bucs in a bit of a hole now for Rose. Got to keep it just at this. Big swing and miss from Barajas. He was looking to go back-to-back.
Yeah, but I think it just made Zan Rose even more mad than he probably already was, and I think that could be the only runs they get off of him, regardless of how long he's in the game.
0-2, 2 outs. Rose trying to end this inning. Induces a pop-up on the infield. Vandegrift calls everybody off. And finally, the ball comes down into his mitt for the 3rd out, but not before Luke Stolga hits a 2-run shot, increases this Bucs deficit to 4 runs. Bottom of the 5th inning. Bucs trying to bounce back from that 2-run homer off the Pilots. No better man to lead off than Brody Briggs.
Yeah, and Brody Briggs is not the type of guy to stir up any type of drama, but we'll just watch that back. And the bat flip's one thing, but looking at it for that long, I mean, I don't know if you think you're Ronald Acuna or Fernando Tatis, but got to bring you back down to earth. We're ABL baseball players, and I'm always a fan for showboating. We've talked about it multiple times. We're big Braves fans, big Acuna fans, but that seemed just a little excessive, and that one's a swing and a miss by Briggs. But like you said, seems like they're just always chirping at the dugout of the opposing team, and the Bucs are a very well-rounded group that, when they hit a home run, are very traditional about it. And I'm not a traditional guy at all. I'm a big bat flip and look at the ball, but that seemed like a double whammy from the batter Stolga. I don't blame Briggs for getting that at all.
I think there's something different between celebrating for yourself and celebrating against another team. And don't see the Bucs kind of look towards players on the other teams when they make good plays. Not sure I can say the same of the Pilots, unfortunately. 1-2 to Briggs, 1 hop. Another play for Jake Dodge. Boy, has he been busy defensively, and he makes the 1st out unassisted just as he made the 3rd out last inning.
Yeah, and that is the 3rd unassisted play that he has made, all from lefty bats, and that's just telling me that lefties are really pulling the ball on the ground towards him, and maybe just need to let the ball get a little bit deeper, but they're all hard hit, or most are hard hit out to him. So they can make the adjustment, just let the ball get a little bit deeper, hit it up the middle. That'd be great.
Burns, a righty, squares to bunt and pulls it away. He hit it on the right side as well. It was a ground ball to Dylan Marks that retired him his first time up. Speaking of first base, it looks like Chad Gurney's taken over as the first base coach in place of Garvey Rumry. Just maybe trying to give the Bucs some mojo, switch things up.
Yeah, why not? Anything will work. Spots are not hot at all, so I bet everyone's moving around.
Spots are frigid. Alaska winter cold, I might go as far as to say. And Gurney pitched yesterday, so wouldn't expect him today, although I couldn't put it past him. Man, he's pitched. Burns shows again and pulls back again.
And the emotions have been this whole season. It's been not really showcased on camera for you guys to see, but we've heard from the players that the Pilots definitely do not hold back, and they treat this rivalry like they think it should be treated.
Flare into shallow right field, going to be a super tough play, and oh my goodness, robbery from Dylan Marks heading out towards right field.
Yeah, that was a really good play, and he gave it all he had and makes the basket catch. It's a really tough out over there.
Had trouble written all over it for the Pilots defensively, and unfortunately Burns has to head back to the dugout. Plays like that just not falling for the Bucs. We saw play a little bit similar, fall in front of Andrew Lamb. We saw that double fall for the Pilots. Breaks just not going the Bucs' way, but it only takes a big base hit or two to snap out of things. Hopefully Adam Enyart can supply that. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far. Beautiful breaking ball in the front door from Allen, who's unfortunately at 55 pitches, so the Bucs are going to have to face him for another few innings.
Yeah, at least 2 more innings, and like I said before, not a lot of pitchers to go to in the bullpen, so they're going to try to ride Allen as long as they can, especially if he's so sharp, which he is right now. And it looks like Halverson's been up and warming in the bullpen for the Bucs, and knowing that he's getting somewhat close to that innings limit, so this might be one of the only times we see him in the playoffs.
Enyart trying right center field, but it's going to hold up and fade towards Luke Stolga, who makes the third out. The Bucs go down in order 1, 2, 3. Another scoreless frame as we head to the 6th. Bucs down by 4. Top of the 6th inning. Not looking good so far for the Bucs, but hopefully it's a new man on the mound. Things can change. It's Wyatt Halverson. We'll go ahead and give you Zan Rose's line. It was 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and that big home run ball hurt him. But turning over to Halverson now.
Yeah, this is his 10th appearance, and his 9 previous, 8 of them have been starts. He's 1 in 3, 33 innings pitched, 27 hits, 11 earned runs, good for a 3 ERA right on the dot. And this is his second appearance out of the bullpen. Last 2 now have been out of the bullpen.
Starts off Jake Dodge with a pitch that's too low to register a strike. Halverson pitched on Wednesday against the Chinooks. That was a 4-1 Bucs win. Started that game, but just went 3 innings as Dodge puts it high in the air to left field. Riley Hunsaker is undered and makes the play for out number 1. Just 2 pitches, retired Dodge. But as I was saying about Halverson, just 3 innings on Wednesday. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts.
And this is exactly what you want to see out of him early. Not getting into deep counts. He's a big strikeout pitcher, but a lot of times that comes at the cost of getting to 3 balls. And a quick 2-pitch at bat for Jake Dodge, and hopefully the same for the next couple batters.
Yep, maybe trying to pitch to contact a little bit more. We've talked about it. If he just throws that fastball over the plate, there's usually not much that opposing batters can do with it. He doesn't even necessarily need to locate it all that well. And he fires the fastball on the 1-0, and it's a line drive right at Max Ross.
Yeah, great job. Played really well by Ross. That one hot off the bat. Initially freezes, knows that it's spinning down on him, so he has to come in, and it's not going to be over his head. A lot of times that ball has opposite spin, and it looks like it's hit out hard right to you, but it's actually carrying, and it goes over your head. So Ross made a good play out there in center field, and back-to-back quick outs.
For Halverson, this is his 3rd appearance against the Pilots. Pilots pitched opening day. He fires just outside. That was a 3-0 Pilots win on June 6th. He went 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs. So he did his job on opening day, that's for sure. Second time around later in June, not as well. 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. So hoping to get the success that he saw more of the first time around, and so far so good. 2 quick outs. Now trying to finish up a 1-2-3 on Logan Sanders. Not going to be easy though. Speedy guy and already has a hit today. Fouls this one off.
Bucs have not been familiar playing catch-up to these Pilots. They've won every game but 2 against them in the regular season, and games that they've won, I can only think maybe 1 or 2 where they've been
double
behind.
header, I think both of them were behind, or one of them was behind, and then another game on this 12-game losing streak for the Pilots. Game 2 of that double header, definitely though, but it was never 4 runs.
No.
Just a 2-0 deficit that day, and so this is a bigger deficit than you're used to. The 24th was the other time, but that was just a 1-0 deficit. Popped him up. Shallow right field. Vandergrift calling everybody off, and busy day for him continues. He gets the job done with no problems. 1-2-3 inning for the Pilots. Bucs got to get something going when we come back. Bottom of the 6th inning. Bucs looking to get something going, trailing by 4 runs and just one hit for the Bucs. It's the man at the plate, Riley Hunsaker. Had a one-out triple a few innings ago, and that's it for the Bucs in the hit department. Really have not been able to do much off of Peyton Allen, who, like we've been saying, that pitch count, 58 pitches now. You're going to have to continue to face him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not coming out of the game anytime soon, and Bucs have got to make him feel a little bit uncomfortable. They really have to get some traffic on the bases and get someone around to score. It's so important.
Yeah, like you said, get someone around to score. You don't need 4 runs. You need 1 or 2 just to get something going. New first base coach switching it up again. Is that Brett Castillo? Hunsaker skies it, shallow, just past second base. Shortstop Hefner into the grass makes the play, and a quiet first out. No matter who's been that first base coach, nothing's helping.
Yeah, and he's retired all the first 6 batters he's seen in the top or lead off the inning for the Bucs. No first man has reached. Just the triple from Riley Hunsaker is the only base runner that the Bucs have had. No walks either.
No hit by pitches, no errors. It's just Hunsaker. And because of that, the 9th place hitter up for just the second time here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Vandegrift takes a strike. That one, it didn't break, was going to hit him. It did, but stays inside. After Vandegrift, it's Ross in the top of the order.
Would love to have them up with a runner aboard.
Tried to go the other way with it off the end of the bat, foul, and now 1-2. Allen just ahead of these Bucs batters almost each and every time. Been really impressive. We talked about it, who would get to the bullpen first, and it's been the Pilots, and they're the team winning, not surprisingly, as that comes right in front of us. My goodness.
No flinch, though.
Nope, no flinch from me. Where did it land after it hit that window?
It bounced right down towards the on-deck circle, I think. Bucs on-deck circle.
Luckily, it didn't come into our booth and damage anything. Swing and a miss. Vandegrift goes down on strikes for the second time. First time swinging, and now what we didn't want to see, Ross coming up with nobody on base.
Yeah, and 2 outs. And the Bucs, yeah, have done good work with 2 down, but a lot of times that good work starts with a runner aboard before the Bucs get to 2 outs. And here just have to manufacture a rally with no one on base. It's really tough.
Ross 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to Jake Dodge at first base. He takes a ball.
And this is what the Pilots need to do to beat this Bucs team. It's just to play sound and clean baseball. Like you said, no errors, no walks from Peyton Allen, just the 1 base hit. It's how you beat this Bucs team.
1-0 check swing line foul.
I think we got word also that one of the best relievers for the Pilots is going to come out of the bullpen, but we're not sure if that's the case. So we'll see. Don't want to give any names just yet. Peyton Allen could have a couple more innings in store.
He sure could. A bouncer foul to the right side of the first base line.
But even if the Bucs cannot come back and win this game, I gotta think that the Pilots threw their 2 best guys. And yes, the Bucs threw their 2 best guys too, but still, I take my chances with whoever the Bucs have less left to start for Game 3 rather than the Pilots. But really don't want to start thinking about that and start thinking about a comeback.
For sure, and even just a partial comeback would be good, even if you can't come all the way back, because it gives you some confidence at the plate going into tomorrow. If you're held scoreless today, that's 1 run in 18 innings against these Pilots in the playoffs. So definitely not what you want. You want to get something going, as Ross did not go around.
It's a good call, and for the Pilots, they got to feel good because even though they were shut out yesterday, they put up 4 runs today, and if they get the win and shut out the Bucs here, the Bucs, they've got 1 run, like you said, in 18 innings. Well, the Pilots would have 4.
Grounder, another play for Jake Dodge. My goodness, he flips to Allen, who gets to first base with ease. Another 1, 2, 3 inning as we head to the final 3 frames. Bucs still down by 4 runs. Throw down to second base, and we're ready for the final 3 frames. Hopefully Vic Massey can get something going for us.
And I hope so too, Will. The Bucs got an uphill battle in store for them, down 4 runs, but of course, Halverson back out there, looking for another 1-2-3 inning to get the bats back up, but it has been tough on the offensive side. Just one hit, and it was a triple from Riley Hunsaker that went to waste. And it'll be Evan Chadwick to lead things off for the Pilots here in the bottom or the top half of the 7th. First pitch called strike. Halverson did a good job of getting quick outs last inning. We talked about his struggles a little bit with 3-ball counts and didn't see any of those last inning.
Nope, didn't need any strikeouts to have a 1-2-3.
And that's the mentality that Halverson, I think, should have going into the playoffs. We don't need him to go out there and have a ton of strikeouts. Just need quick innings, send the bats back up. Quickly at 0-2. One's low and away. Bullpen's not busy as of right now, but as I say that, looks like it's Andrew Rudd heading out there.
I think that's him too, yeah.
Could just be getting stretched out early.
Braden Rush warming up in the Pilots pen.
1-2, soft flare, foul ground. Going to be a tough play. Eisenstadt lays out, and he's not going to get there. Gave it all he had.
He sure did, and he was inches away from making that play. In on the hands, great pitch from Halverson and Eisenstadt. If he has just a fraction of a second longer to make one more step, then it's probably the first out.
And we weren't expecting Braden Rush. We were expecting someone else, and Rush is a pretty common face, I'm pretty sure, for the Bucs. Definitely seen him a couple of times. Not as much as some other guys, but a 4.74 ERA. So if he does come in, Bucs definitely have a bigger advantage off him than they do with Peyton Allen so far. Next pitch from Halverson. This is just a bit upstairs, it looked like.
Yeah, tried to bring in that front door breaker. Stayed a little bit too high.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Pitch from Halverson, popped up, foul ground, and that's going to get out of play. Halverson will try again with the 2-2 when picking up just a little bit, blowing out from left field. Righty ready, working from the windup. Here's the 2-2, misses upstairs. First 3-ball count, and it's a full count to batter Evan Chadwick, who is 1 for 2 so far. Single, that bunt single back in the 3rd inning. Came around to score and then grounded out to Ryan Callahan at 3rd base. Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. Gassed him up with the fastball, blew it right by him.
Here's my fastball, show me what you can do with it. And the answer was nothing for Evan Chadwick. Halverson started off well, and credit to Chadwick for working that at bat, getting it to 3-2 by fouling off a couple tough pitches. But Halverson in the end comes out on top, and huge not to let that leadoff guy get on.
Especially with the top of the order looming. Now Marcus Sanders grabs a bat, takes a called strike on the outer half. Beautiful day here in Anchorage. Beautiful day for a comeback. It all starts with Halverson here. Big cut and miss. Marcus Sanders dipping that back foot out of the plate.
Big time. I was about to say the same thing.
Can't even contest with that pitch. Almost the opposite we'll receive from McCausland on the minors, who takes that front foot out. 0-2, called strike 3. Pretty casual call from our home plate umpire. And Halverson takes care of Marcus Sanders via the looking K. And after 3 straight pop-ups last inning, he's got back-to-back strikeouts for the bottom half of the Pilots. That sends us to the top half. Dylan Marks, who is 0 for 2 with a walk, also struck out. Swing and a miss there. That fastball looks electric from Halverson.
It always has been. Key is just putting it in the zone because not a ton of hits off of him. It's more just about missing and giving guys first base or just working your pitch count up.
0-1 misses downstairs. Halverson working again, 1-1, just gets a piece of it. That's Dylan Marks. After him, it's Luke Hefner, who provided that 2-run double back in the 3rd inning. Like to see him in the 8th inning. Halverson peers over that black glove. Now the 1-2, swung on and missed. Went back with that fastball, and Halverson strikes out the side. Hopefully that gives the Bucs the momentum they need as we head into the stretch. The Bucs in need of a 4-run comeback. Let's start it in the bottom half of the 7th, shall we? 4-0 lead for the Pilots. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Hope you enjoyed your stretch. Onto the hill now for the Pilots is Braden Rush. He is in for his 6th appearance in his 5 previous. 4 of them have been starts, so this is his 2nd appearance out of the bullpen. 1-0, 19 innings pitched, 15 base hits, 10 earned runs, good for a 4.74 ERA.
And the Bucs were howling him when he was throwing his warm-up tosses, and honestly, rightfully so. He struggled against this team.
Faces Andrew Lamb to start. Fires that one up and inside for ball 1. He is a lefty and facing a heavy left-handed hitting lineup, so might be a little bit difficult for these bats after facing Peyton Allen for so long, but like you just said, Bucs with some successes off him, so maybe it doesn't matter. Off the end of the bat, a flare out to shortstop Luke Hefner, and he makes that grab for out number 1. Looks like a broken bat from Andrew Lamb.
Yeah, unfortunately, those balls just not finding spots as we would like to see. But for Rush's 2 previous appearances against the Bucs, 3 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned runs in June. And then in July, his last time out, July 26th, 4 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned runs.
The Bucs just running out of outs now. That's the case. 8 left. As Rush misfires upstairs. No one up in the bullpen, so for now it's Halverson's game. Bucs just trying to chip away. 1 or 2 runs here. Save the rest for later. Next one misses again, 2-0 to Callahan.
And I have a feeling if you get 1 or 2, the floodgates might open. String a couple singles together. How many times this season have we seen a couple singles turn into 4 or 5?
Bucs love to score in bunches and put up a crooked number. We've seen a 6-spot put up so many times this season. That's been like the magic number.
And the dugout's getting into it. I love that.
3-0 finally catches a corner. Hitter's count still though for Callahan. So far today, a flyout and 2 groundouts. And he grounds this one back to Braden Rush, the pitcher. Will underhand toss it to Jake Dodge for out number 2.
Just can't get anything going. 3-0 count starting to feel good, and in the end, it's soft contact and an easy play for the Pilots defensively.
So that'll bring up Tommy Eisenstadt. He's grounded out twice as well, both onto the right side. Quickly 2 down. That's just been the tale of today's ball game. Only one inning where the Bucs got 4 batters up to the plate. That was the third after Hunsaker's triple. First pitch misses from Rush. Besides that, it's been 1, 2, 3 innings. All thanks to Peyton Allen, but might be for Braden Rush too. This is up the middle and another base hit for the Bucs. Just the second one of today's game, and it comes with 2 outs versus Braden Rush.
Yeah, fans cheering, seeing the ball put in play for a single. First time there's been a single, with the only hit being Hunsaker's triple. Unfortunately, it does come with 2 outs, but still a chance. We've talked about how this Bucs team, they make you earn all 3 outs every inning. And Rush will have to earn it here, facing Briggs, definitely a tough hitter.
Yeah, and Briggs seems to always be swept up in that big rally that the Bucs will start, lending a hand with a base hit here and there, and really helping pass the baton off, and hopefully he could do the same. First pitch, good take, a miss from Rush. Wind blowing right field to left field. Just a slight breeze, though, nothing crazy. 1-0, hit to left field, but that's going to be right at Jacob Coes for out number 3. So Tommy Eisenstadt gets a 2-out base knock, but it goes to waste as the Bucs leave him stranded at first base. We head into the 8th inning. Still a 4-0 lead for the Pilots. Into the 8th inning. The Pilots back up, trying to increase their lead, add some insurance. The Bucs running out of outs and a lethargic offense for both of these 2 games. Just 1 run across the 2 games so far. Not what we're used to seeing, but Halverson back out there. And he will face Luke Hefner to start. It'll be him, Stolga, and Barajas. Those are the heavy hitters for the Pilots so far today.
15 runs in the last regular season game against the Miners, and there was a day off, and some of those runs came against position players. The pitch is high, but I thought that was a sign of things to come in this first round series with the Pilots going to be in for some trouble, and that just has not been the case.
Really did not have this on my bingo card. Even with 2 good pitchers that the Pilots threw out for both of these games, and that one misses off the plate. 3 balls, no strikes, and Halverson struggling early here in this 8th inning. The Bucs can not come back. They will play the Pilots again for Game 3 tomorrow. Called strike as he finds the zone.
That'll be at 6 o'clock, and just not a surprise to see the lack of runs, just because there's been so many games against these Pilots where the Bucs have scored really well.
3-1 misses outside. 5-pitch walk from Halverson. And that will mean a runner on for Luke Stolga, who had that 2-run home run back in the 5th. First at bat since then.
Yeah, don't want him on with a man on and nobody out. But for the Bucs, some of the score totals against the Pilots in an 8-2 regular season, 7, 6, 13, 8 on a July 4th non-league game, 9, 13, 6. So there's been some big run totals.
First pitch to Stolgas, fouled back. Just still surprised that Zan Rose gave up that 2-run homer. Did not expect that. The 2 runs already, because he's been pitching so good, he's bound to have a rough outing. But 4 runs seems like everything went wrong. Even though 4 runs is not a crazy number, but for Zan Rose, just don't usually see that from him.
Not at all for Zan. That was the first home run he's allowed all season.
Yeah.
In terms of most runs in a game, it was 2 earned runs, and that was in 8 2/3 innings. And the margins in a 3-game series are just so small. That's why it was so big for the Bucs to take game 1 when they weren't playing well. But you lose this game, you're already on the brink of elimination tomorrow.
Pilots backs against the walls, and they sure are playing like it. Really not trying to go home here and force a game 3. Popped up, foul ground, Eisenstadt giving it chase, and he has just enough room for out number 1.
Yep, good play by Eisenstadt, and a good, quiet, easy out for Halverson.
Now he faces Junior Barajas, who is 0 for 3. A couple ground outs and a fly out. Bucs have yet to turn a double play, have had plenty of traffic on the base pass to do so.
Wouldn't now be a great time.
Halverson checks on the runner Hefner at first. It's okay.
And Barajas, a candidate, not as much talking about his speed, but talking about where he's hit the ball. He's hit it to Vandegrift 3 times, one of them in the air, but the other 2 on the ground, so that's a good chance.
First offering to him. Strike on the outside corner. Bucs bats just 6 outs to work with when they come up in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Bullpen has been the struggle for the Pilots, though. We'll say that. Big kind of miss for Junior Barajas, down 0-2. But even with their struggles, Rush took care of the Bucs bats no problem last inning, except for Eisenstadt.
Yeah, even with the outs, it looked like the Bucs were hitting him a little bit better. Obviously, the standard was pretty low after how poorly they hit against Allen.
Next one's popped up, foul. Still down to 0-2. No one up in the bullpen for the Bucs. And why not? Halverson has looked good, and there's no need to waste any more arms, especially being down 4-0 would set the Bucs up very nicely for tomorrow's game. But don't really want to think about that. Still with 6 outs remaining. Swung on and missed. Halverson goes with the gas and gets Barajas swinging.
I mean, most of the times he does go with that gas upstairs. He induces swings, and they're not very good, and we saw that from Barajas. For Halverson, no strikeouts in his first inning of work. Struck out the side last inning, and now gets his first one of the 8th.
That'll bring up Jake Dodge. With 2 down, and Luke Hefner aboard at first base. He grounds this towards Eisenstadt off his glove, and it's not going to be an out for the Bucs. We'll see how that one is scored. A weird play, tricky play for Eisenstadt.
Yeah, it's going to be an infield single. It's unfortunate because Eisenstadt could have either made the play or let it go for Vandegrift and had Halverson covering, and in the end, he had it go off his glove, which was worst case scenario.
So more work to do for Halverson as he faces Jacob Coase. Lefty 0 for 2 with a walk back in the 4th. Round out and a fly out besides that. First pitch he sees, skies it in the air towards left center field. Riley Hunsaker is there and makes the grab for out number 3. Halverson strands 2 Pilots on the base pass as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. It's really now or never for the Bucs bats. Welcome back. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Will Burns due up first for the Bucs, and like I said, it's now or never. Do not want to have a 4-run deficit to try to make back in the bottom half of the 9th inning. So after Burns, Enyart, and Hunsaker.
And if you're the Bucs, I got to start thinking about maybe a pinch hitter at some point here. Just got to switch something up. There's been nothing going offensively.
Burns hits this softly to right field, coming on is Stolga, but he'll have to play it on a hop. And the first leadoff batter to reach is Will Burns here in the bottom half of the 8th. And Will, that's a good sign.
Great sign. Got to get something going here.
So Enyart now will bat. And back to what you were saying about the pinch hitter, you'd love to be able to do that, but just not a lot of options to go to. You do have Castillo, who's made it worthwhile, and I could see a situation where the Bucs maybe get a couple runners on here and maybe use his bat, because like I said, the 8 RBIs and, 4 at-bats from him? Well, I got it right in front of me. Yeah, 4 hits, and 8 RBIs. So he really makes it worthwhile as Enyart takes that one low and away. Rush has now given up 2 of the 3 base hits, and this is just his second inning.
Like I said, even some of the outs hit pretty well by the Bucs.
1-0 off the end of the bat. That might get through. Going to be a long run for Dylan Marks. He gets there. Oh, my goodness. What a play. And, yeah, it was hit softly, but Marks had to cover so much ground. I cannot believe he made that play.
That was unreal.
Takes a hit away from Enyart. Nothing you could do about that one.
It wasn't hit very well by Enyart, but it looked to be perfectly placed. Just a spinner. And Dylan Marks slid to make the play and spun himself. Had to get up quickly to make that throw. And bounces just not going the Bucs' way.
Pilots just doing everything right on the field. Rush gets a gift for a first out. Hunsaker going to call time, wisely so. Rush was taking his sweet time on the rubber. Vandergrift is on deck, and by the looks of Castillo down there at the end of the dugout, doesn't seem like he would be ready to go for a pinch hit opportunity.
The other thing with pinch hitting is you have such a limited bench. It's got to be a position that the pinch hitter can probably play defensively.
Right. Castillo does not play infield. At least to our knowledge. Hunsaker going to square, but he takes that one outside.
And I really hope he isn't actually trying to lay one down, because it is not worth getting Will Burns to third base in a 4-run game at the sacrifice of a second out. And I would argue in any score, really, getting someone to third base for a second out.
Totally agree.
Maybe just trying to throw off Rush.
1-0 doesn't square. Called strike on the outside part of the plate.
Late call by Nicholas Reynolds, but it looked like a good pitch.
One ball, one strike, one down. Burns at second base. After that nice play by Marks, ball gets away, but not far enough for Will Burns.
Yeah, not worth it. Runs are way more important than outs, and by runs, I mean more than just one. Burns matters way more as not being an out, not worth it to go to third in that situation, and I think Chadwick would have had him. It didn't end up getting that far away.
Yeah, and didn't have the initial read off of it, which doesn't mean that he would have been safe if he did. Still, 2-1 in the dirt, and if he did have a good read on it, maybe he's able to get there, but still, you have to have a perfect read, perfect secondary lead as well. And probably the sun does not help. It is baking them on the field, I assume, but still some guys wearing those sweatshirts. Can't be too hot.
No sleeves for Burns.
3-1. Chopper going to be a tough play. Marks coming in, going to first, and double clutches. That ball gets away. Coming around to score is Burns. Hunsaker heading into second base. And the Bucs are on the scoreboard. A 4-1 lead still for the Pilots.
Huge, absolutely huge. You could tell Marks was having problems getting that ball out of his mitt. Had to rush the throw with the speed of Hunsaker. And then the Bucs get their first run. Hopefully that opens up the floodgates.
So that is going to go down as a single, and it's a good call because that was a tough play, and you're asking Dylan Marks to make both of those outs, and it's amazing if he makes one of them, Will, but it's especially amazing if he makes both of them, and I don't know if a big leaguer can make both of those plays.
Yep, single with an error, that run unearned to Rush.
Will not go down as an RBI for Hunsaker, unfortunately, but still getting the job done. RBIs don't even matter anymore at this stage. It's playoff baseball. Now the Bucs dugout getting a little bit rowdy here as they got their first run on the board. Swing and a miss by Vandergrift. He's had a tough go of it at the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts in his 2 lone appearances. One swinging, one looking.
And would love to get Hunsaker in. I mean, this is another opportunity. You haven't had many. You don't know how many you'll get in the ninth. You really can't leave him at second base.
Rush comes set, takes a look at Hunsaker. Now the delivery just gets a piece of it. That's Vandergrift. 0 for 3 in yesterday's game with 2 strikeouts. And the Bucs asking a lot of him, putting him in the lineup right when he gets here to Alaska. And
Didn't really have any other
yeah,
choices.
Exactly. Not a lot of guys to go to. 5 base hits and 27 at bats. Definitely struggling a little bit, but like I said, a lot to ask for. 1-2, that one's low and away. I will say Vandergrift does a good job of being competitive in at bats. When he does strike out, we don't see him strike out on 3 straight pitches. He usually puts up a good fight and needs to do so here, at least to shake up Rush a little bit. 2-2. Ground ball, that's off the glove of Rush, and it's going to be no out for the Pilots. Vandergrift will reach, and Hunsaker heads into third base. The Bucs get a big rally going here in the 8th.
Huge bounce to go the Bucs' way, kind of similar to what we saw with Eisenstadt at first base last inning. The Bucs either needed him to glove it or not glove it, and same thing goes here for Rush. Pilots needed him to glove it or not glove it, and he half-gloved it, and that allowed both Vandergrift to get to first and Hunsaker to get to third.
So that will be a base hit for Vandergrift. Didn't want to immediately say it, but I thought so, and Rush gave it all he could, and if he doesn't reach up and grab that, I still think Vandergrift is safe with how
it's going to be close.
It's going to be close, but that ball was chopped up really high, and I think that either way, Vandergrift's going to be safe. A pretty quick meeting on the mound between Jordan Brink and Braden Rush. It's runners at the corners with 1 down, and the top of the order due up. The Bucs knocking at the door. Still a 4-1 lead for the Pilots, and Max Ross has got some speed, but he also hits it hard and still want to make sure you don't ground into a double play.
That's what the middle infield is playing for.
Ross 0 for 3, he's due. Takes a ball inside, so far a strikeout and back-to-back groundouts to the first baseman, Jake Dodge. Definitely want to avoid him.
Pretty big hole on the right side with Marks playing up the middle and Dodge holding Vandergrift.
1-0 misses upstairs. And the dugout now really rowdy.
If you put Ross on with a base on balls, not only is Vandergrift at second and Ross at first, but you've got the doubles machine, Andrew Lamb, coming up.
2-0. Catches the outside corner for a strike. On deck, Andrew Lamb, like you said.
And Ross at first base would be basically in scoring position with him up.
Rush set, 2-1. Upstairs, hitters count now. Things getting interesting. Guys in the bullpen, it looks like it's Rudd and Maltby who would be catching him up, just eagerly awaiting. Cannot be too sure. Does have a sweatshirt on. 3-1. Cold strike. Another late call from the home plate umpire, but it looked like a good pitch on the outside part of the plate.
And Ross knew it. He was staying in the box even before the call.
Ross, a very disciplined batter. Payoff pitch, runner goes, ground ball. Jake Dodge has it, has one play, but no one's at first base. A run comes around to score, and Max Ross is safe at first. The Bucs cut the lead in half. It's 4-2.
I don't know what Braden Rush is doing on that play. Ball hit right to Dodge, who looked at second. He should have known he had no play there. With Vandergrift taking off, it's going to be ruled a single. You can't charge Rush an error for not going across, and Dodge did nothing wrong, but a huge break.
And so with that is another RBI for Max Ross, and he is now tied with Ryan Callahan for 19 RBIs will, and he's got considerably less at-bats than all of the guys at the top. Carlone, Burns, Hankins, Eisenstadt, Briggs. Ross just gets it done and able to get another run to score. 2 out of the 3 runs that have come across in the playoffs, all brought to you by Max Ross. Now Andrew Lamb at the dish, takes that one low and in for ball 1.
He's really hearing it from the Bucs fans and the Bucs dugout. They're going to do anything they can. Mojo was not great up until this inning. Now 2 runs for the Bucs, and hey, runner on second with just 1 out. Love to get him in too, or even Ross at first.
1-0 in the dirt, and Braden Rush struggling with his command, amongst other things that are not going his way. And yes, no errors for the Pilots.
One on that throw over to first base.
But besides that, it's just been unlucky. The Bucs, the ball's finally going their way. 2-0 way outside. Another love side miss for the lefty. On deck, Ryan Callahan, and you're at a part of the order where you really don't want to see any of these batters come up if you're the Pilots.
And no signs from Coach Sanagorski at third, so not sure if that means red light or green light for Andrew Lamb.
We will see. I assume that he would have the red light no matter what. 3-0. In the dirt, doesn't matter. Ball 4. 4 straight pitches, 4 straight balls. The base is full of Bucs. And like I said earlier, the Bucs knocking at the door. Shoot, they got a foot through the door right now.
Yeah, that door, there's definitely a foot through that door, and an exciting opportunity, but at the same time, with the bases loaded, the Pilots are just a ground ball away from ending this inning with just 2 runs for the Bucs. On the flip side, Callahan, a single could tie this game up. Such a huge at-bat in this game. Cannot understate it. A huge at-bat in this season.
First pitch to Callahan. Misses outside. 5 straight balls. And Vandegrift at third. Ross at second. Lamb at third base. That was the first walk issued by the Pilots today.
Wow.
Coming at a huge moment in this game. 1-0. Nowhere near.
And if you're Callahan, you got to have a 2-0 red light. I feel like not a knock on him at all, but even if Rush fires 1 strike, who's going to say that he can fire 2 out of the next 3 pitches as strikes? Not me.
That might be the best pitch you'll see. That 1 strike that he throws. So
but so
right.
be it.
Yeah.
If he throws it, he throws it. He might not be able to throw 1 more or 2 more.
Bucs need 2 runs to tie it. Already cut the lead in half. It's not over yet. Still 1 down. The force is on, and the Bucs have struggled at times with base runners left on. Really big moment to not have that happen. 2-0. Whew. Cold strike on the outside part of the plate. That's a tough call, but I think it definitely catches a little sliver.
I think it does too. Dugout doesn't like it. I think part of that is just because it was a late call, but that's how home plate umpire Nicholas Reynolds has called it all game.
Lamb, big lead at first. 2-1. Outside, ball 3. Another hitter's count, this time to Callahan.
And I'd be hesitant to swing the bat here. I'd zero in on a specific pitch in a specific location because, again, even if he fires a strike, who's to say the next pitch is going to be competitive?
Fastball, middle in, middle,
wherever you like
that. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Cold strike on the upstairs part of the plate. Good pitch to take.
Hey, not what Callahan was looking for, obviously. That's okay. Now you got to be a little bit more protective with 2 strikes, but still, Rush could easily miss the zone and walk in that run.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch with the bases loaded is fouled away by Callahan.
Great job by Callahan. Staying alive, living to see another pitch, and the longer this at-bat goes, the better you like the chances of Rush missing.
Andrew Lamb has started warming up in the bullpen for the Bucs. They can get the lead. He will most likely be the guy they call on for the 9th inning, but 2 runs still to get. 3-2. That one hit him. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway if it didn't. It would have been ball 4 either way. They walk in a run, and the deficit is down to just 1 run. A 4-3 game, and it's Tommy Eisenstadt at the dish.
Huge, huge, huge. Was looking for a run or 2 this inning. At this point, you're looking to tie or take the lead. Rush has no command out there. If you're Eisenstadt, you have to be patient here.
Rush, the lefty, set at the letters. First pitch misses to Tommy Eisenstadt. A great start. Corner infielders are in. That's Marcus Sanders at third, Jake Dodge at first base. Middle infield playing for the double play. And unfortunately, Will, they have got the guy up that would be easier than others to ground into a double play. Called strike on Eisenstadt.
He's had a couple of unlucky ones with lineouts or he had an odd fielder's choice when he was up a couple of games ago. Running out of the left-hand hitting batter's box, that's an advantage. We've seen him run a little more lately.
1-1. Misses. Max Ross at third, Lamb at second, Callahan at first. That's good speed at third and second base. Callahan not too bad over there at first either. That big run 90 feet away, that would tie up this ball game in the go-ahead. In scoring position, Eisenstadt rocks this into center field. It should be deep enough. Logan Sanders is under it. Here comes Max Ross. The throw goes into third, and we've got a tie ball game.
Absolutely huge from Eisenstadt. The thing you could not do there was put the ball on the ground, and Eisenstadt did anything but that. Also a great job by Andrew Lamb. Not going to third would have been catastrophic if he was tagged out before Ross came home.
A 4-spot put up by the Bucs, and they have tied this game up, brought it all the way back from 4-0 to 4-4, but they're not done yet. 2 down with Andrew Lamb being the go-ahead run in scoring position. Bucs now batting around this inning. First pitch. This is upstairs to Brody Briggs. So far for Briggs, he is 0 for 3. And like many Bucs, is due.
He sure is. Boy, would a base hit feel good here.
Rush still struggling on the mound. He's got Lamb to deal with at second now. Called strike. And when I say deal with him at second now, nobody at third, so Lamb is really going to cause havoc for Braden Rush.
Few better sights for me than seeing Andrew Lamb at second base. Loves to dance around over there. Hefner not holding him too close on, so he'll be doing that for sure. Trying to mess with Rush.
1 ball, 1 strike. Swung on and missed. Briggs is trying to send that over the right field wall.
Yeah, got a super slow breaker. Really good pitch from Rush, knowing that the batter might be trying to do some big-time damage.
Rush ahead in the count. Haven't seen that too much with his command struggles. See if Brody Briggs can take advantage. Can't be too antsy. 1-2. Popped up center field, right in line with Logan Sanders. He is under it and makes the grab for out number 3. But the Bucs storm all the way back. They get 4 runs and tie it up at 4 apiece. And it looks like it might be Andrew Rudd or maybe just Wyatt Halverson on for the top of the ninth to hold the Pilots scoreless and send us to the bottom half of the ninth. Here we go, top half of the 9th inning. The Bucs storm all the way back, down 4-0. They get 4 runs in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And now it's Wyatt Halverson on for the hold and to send the bats back up for the bottom half of the 9th.
Huge spot for Halverson. Would love nothing more than an easy, stressless 1-2-3.
Called strike. And for both teams, really, if the Pilots can find a way to win this game, they have done a good job of using just 2 pitchers to now, but we are expecting another one to come in. And for the Bucs, if they win this game, even if they lose this game, still just 2 pitchers used so far. 0-1, just misses.
This is a game that, as much as you'd love to win, would be such a bad loss for both teams. Not bad, but sad loss. Bucs coming all the way back and the Pilots having that lead.
1-1, big cut and miss from the batter Sanders. Logan Sanders, Evan Chadwick, Marcus Sanders due up. The righty deals the 1-2, swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Wyatt Halverson. The Pilots having trouble touching him.
Yeah, first inning we saw him, that was the 6th, no strikeouts, and then he kind of turned Wyatt Halverson mode back on, and it's on in full force now.
So that will bring up Evan Chadwick, the backstop for the Pilots. Will Burns, Adam Inyart, Riley Hunsaker due up in the bottom half of the 9th. Swing and a miss early from Chadwick. He looks uncomfortable with that fastball from Wyatt Halverson.
A lot of batters in this league have all season.
Working from the windup with nobody on, and he fires that one upstairs. Catches the home plate umpire Nicholas Reynolds, but he's okay. Wind blowing pretty good out from right field to left field. That flag blowing. Rudd is sat down, and I'm sure we'll get ready just in case the Bucs need him. But for now, it's Halverson's game. 1-1, swung on and missed.
Halverson looking good, and he's pounding the zone. 16 balls, 30 strikes, exactly what you want to see from him.
Perfect mix. Ahead in the count, 1-2, check swing, they'll appeal. Oh, and he did not go. That one was close.
Very close, obviously. We don't have a look down the line. We got to trust that the first base umpire, Darryl Cooper, saw it correctly. But I got a little excited there thinking that he went around.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Halverson looking for that second out. And he gets a ground ball to Will Burns at short on 1. Hop Fields throws 2 away.
Smooth play defensively. Last man to get, Marcus Sanders. Like I said going into this inning, would love nothing more than a 1-2-3. Sanders 0 for 2 with a sac bunt. Hit a ground ball right to Will Burns, who just made that nice play look easy.
And this is Chase Knight. It looks like we've got a pinch hitter. So
you're right.
Pilot's going with a 2-out pinch hitter and Chase Knight. And what's outside, I'm honestly surprised we didn't see him play in today's game. Did play in yesterday's game. 1-0 called strike on the outside part of the plate.
0 for 4 yesterday with 2 strikeouts.
I'm just shocked he wouldn't be in the lineup even with the 0 for 4. It's almost their everyday third baseman. 1-1, misses outside.
Hit under 200 this season, but it felt like he was in the lineup almost every time we played them.
Yeah. Two-1 from Halvey in the dirt. Struggling a little bit now with Chase Wilcox, the pinch hitter.
And with Chase Knight up the top of the order looming, the last thing you want to do is give him a free pass. Make him earn first base if he's going to get there. Don't want to gift a man on with the top of the order looming. Got to keep this a tie game if you're Halverson. Starts with a good pitch here.
3-1. Swung on and missed. 1 strike away for Halverson, and he and the Bucs would love to see the Pilots next season.
How about that? I would love that too.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch called strike 3. Halverson sits him down, and he's got something to say about it. A 1-2-3 inning. Halverson gets 2 strikeouts. The Bucs, they just need 1 run. Here we go. Bottom half of the 9th. Tie ball game, 4 apiece. Welcome back. It all comes down to this. Bottom half of the 9th. Will Burns, Adam Enyart, Riley Hunsaker due up against Braden Rush, who comes back into this game after giving up 4 runs to the Bucs bats last inning.
Yeah, Bucs really hit him around. I'm a little bit surprised to see him, or a lot of bit surprised.
First pitch misses outside. It was Will Burns to get everything started last inning with a leadoff base hit. Cody Briggs finished it as the puck spats batted around. 1-0, hit into the gap in left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Will Burns provides the go-ahead run, and he's at first base.
And I would not be surprised at all to see Will Burns taken off here shortly. Maybe wait a couple pitches to see if Russ struggles with his command. If it's 2-0, then no reason. See if he'll just walk Enyart. But with Russ struggling, he's got to focus on these hitters. Would not be surprised at all
And if it
to
were,
see Burns take off.
sorry to cut you off, but if it were a tight leash, you'd think that Rush would be just given one batter. And now Enyart squares around, wisely takes it back as that one's low. But what I was saying was maybe we would think, oh, send Rush out there. If he gives up a base hit, he's done. Someone else in. But that's not the case, and
It's his game.
it is right. That is exactly right. It's Braden Rush's game. Enyart squares again, fouls it straight back.
And if you're Enyart, you got to make sure you're not putting that bat on a ball that's outside the zone or keeping that bat out there. Make sure that if you're trying to bunt this, that Rush is firing in the zone because he did not show consistent ability to do that in the 8th.
Righty-lefty at bat helps. That breaking ball is bearing into Enyart. That ball's outside. Great take by Enyart. Really seeing that ball well.
And good job by Burns not getting too far away from first base. Chadwick is looking over there every time that Enyart pulls the bat away.
2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Enyart squaring again. He lays it down the first base line. A great bunt. That's going to get Burns to second base with ease. Enyart is tagged out. But the Bucs have their go-ahead run in scoring position, and it's Riley Hunsaker coming up to bat.
Great job by Adam Enyart. A perfect bunt there. Small ball in the playoffs. Executed to perfection.
Burns with speed. The outfield is not super shallow at all. A sharp base hit will be tough to score Burns regardless of the speed, but a looping single might do the trick.
Dodge is playing for bunt.
Hunsaker doesn't square. That one's up and away.
Nor should he. He has an infield single. He has a triple. Don't get that much value out of Burns being on third as opposed to second with 2 outs. Especially with this infield so deep, a single could win you this game.
1 ball, no strikes. Rush deals. Low and away. Command struggles, coming back a little bit.
And they might pitch around Hunsaker a little bit with first base open and that run meaning absolutely nothing, but at the same time it's Vandegrift and then back to the top, so it'd be a risky play from the Pilots.
Vandegrift did have a single. That was one of the weird plays for the Pilots. 2-0 finds the strike zone. Putting Hunsaker on does give you that force out and would be big for the Pilots. That gets you closer to the top half of the order, which really started doing the damage last inning. Rush takes a look at Burns. 2-1, up and away. Hitters count.
Hunsaker hearing the encouragement from the dugout. And the fans.
3 balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Pitch from Rush. That's ball 4. Hunsaker didn't really know what to do with himself. That was a really good pitch by Rush, and I'm guessing maybe a little low. Didn't look too far outside.
No, I don't think Hunsaker thought it was too far outside. He faked tossing his bat and then decided, you know what, I haven't heard a strike call. I guess it's time to go.
And Rob Vandegrift steps up, and boy, would this be a great story. Vandegrift, a late addition to this team, came just 2 weeks ago and has been thrown into some really big ball games for the Bucs, and this is one of them. That ball's outside, and Will, it does not matter where you bat in the order. Getting to play in these games, of course, with the light roster is still got to feel good for Vandegrift, and he's playing on the best team in ABL this regular season. Has a chance to give them the victory here, or at least prolong this game. 1-0. Great at bat so far. 2 balls, no strikes. Vandegrift a pretty good eye.
Yep, like you said, even if he strikes out, it's usually a long at bat. And starting off well 2-0, would expect him to pick and choose very wisely with Rush's lack of command.
The dugout getting really loud right now. It's got to be hard for Rush. 2-0, swung on and missed. That ball dropped off the table. Vandegrift shaking his head.
Yeah, great pitch.
Would
Gotta give credit where it's due.
Yeah, would have been ball 3, but still, really good pitch from Rush. He's back into the count, 2-1.
Big hole on the right side.
Rush will step off. 6 hits now on 4 runs for the Bucs. That was not even close to the case going into that 8th inning. Just
4 hits in the 8th inning. 2 coming in.
and no runs coming into that 8th inning. 2 on with 1 down. Burns with speed at second represents the go-ahead and winning run. That ball skips up there. Burns has a great read. Barajas just gets to it. Excuse me, that's Evan Chadwick, but it doesn't matter. None of them would have gotten to that baseball in time. Will Burns snags an extra bag, and Will, the winning run is 90 feet away. All it takes is a pass ball. And like I said, it's Evan Chadwick behind home plate. Barajas, the designated hitter. That brings the infield in.
Yep. Pop fly into the outfield, or even just a bloop with the infield and the outfield. So much room between them. I don't know why the outfield's so deep.
That wild pitch might loom large. 3-1. Hit foul.
Have the right idea, trying to elevate the ball. So big that a ground ball, unless you have a base running blunder, no chance of a double play at this point. So big. Big mistake by Rush and Chadwick.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch from Rush. A ground ball towards short. They're going to have to come home with it. Here's the throw. The play. He's safe. The Bucs win. They're going to the 2024 ABL Championship. Rob Vandergrift brings home the winning run, and the Bucs storm all the way back down 4 runs and win it 5-4.
How about that? By far the most memorable game for the Bucs this season. Everything was doom and gloom. I'll be honest, guys. Vic and I were having some conversations we did not expect to be having about where the season was going, about the game tomorrow. What game tomorrow? There is no game tomorrow. Rob Vandergrift with that fielder's choice. Will Burns coming home. And you know what? This whole lineup deserves to get its credit, because that 8th inning was a team effort. Bucs shouting out the fans right now, and rightfully so. Fans pushing them along, making it hard on Rush. Pitchers did their job. Zan Rose did not have his best stuff, but knew that, hey, I trust this lineup. They can come back late against the Pilots. They've done it before, and they did it here today.
Hats off to the Bucs. They get the job done, and what a great feeling it must be for Rob Vandergrift. Didn't need to hit it super hard. He got the job done, and a great job by Will Burns, motoring his way to home plate. And talk about a photo finish. We've had 2 of them today, Will.
Yeah, we did. Noah Lyles before we got here, and then Will Burns just now.
So the Bucs win this game. That will send them to the ABL Championship in a big huddle onto the field. It's Rob Vandergrift in the center of it. We'll take a break real quick. We'll be right back to wrap everything up. The Bucs win it 5-4. They're going to the championship, folks. Welcome back, folks. In case you missed it, well, you missed a great ball game. The Bucs storm back in the 8th inning, put up 4 runs, tie it, send it to the 9th. Halverson shuts the door in the top half and gives the Bats another chance, and it's Rob Vandergrift able to shoot one towards shortstop, and nothing Hefner could do. A good throw home, but Will Burns just too speedy, and the Bucs take this one with a score of 5-4. Looking ahead, we do not have the times, but We do know that the Bucs will enjoy an off day tomorrow. That is Monday's off day, and they will play against, excuse me, nothing is set in stone yet, but the Miners are up 6-1 against the Oilers. That game's in the 7th inning. So, if it is the Miners, it doesn't matter who it is, but the games will start Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday, Wednesday for game 1 and game 2, and then if necessary, game 3 on that Thursday. But the Bucs are headed to the championship. We're going ahead. We're going to wrap up everything for you really quickly here, send you on your way. But a great win for the Bucs. 4 runs on 6 hits and 1 error for the Glacier Pilots, and 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Some clean baseball for the Bucs. They take this one 5-4. The Bucs are headed to the 2024 ABL Championship. We'll see you there Tuesday. Wait on some game times. We'll be right there with first pitch for Vic Maslia, and Will Hopkins will say so long and see you later from Anchorage, Alaska. The Bucs win it.